Alrighty. We're back. So, the party, 2 of which invisible, go back to the Scarlet Dawn. Back to the slightly bashed up top deck, which clearly has been the site of duels in the past. Under the moonlight, it's actually quite a pretty scene. You know, it's a pretty ship aside from the damage on the top from Indira. But there's other ships around, softly swaying in the water. Yeah, and when she throws a tantrum, lightning strikes. So yeah, you go.
Can't even help it, man.
No, exactly. You two go up there with Knight and Gilwyn following invisibly. Oh, at this point, can Vale, can you give me an intelligence check?
I sure can didgeridoo.
You can see them. You can see them as when you can see through an illusion, you can kind of like half see what's really there. At this point, you know they're there.
I don't think Indira even would care. So
Indira has not been clued in yet, no.
I don't think she would even care. Like,
No.
I don't think she would even look for him. She's just
No,
having a good time with
exactly.
her
Why
good
would
buddy
you?
Vale.
Why would you?
So once we get on deck, Vale looks a lot more confident. He starts like unbuckling weapons, pulling bits out. So what
Ollie.
are the rules?
Quickly, Ollie, can we just assume that I have training weapons on my ship?
Yeah, you would.
I
Yeah.
feel like that too. I feel like I
Absolutely.
would have like like a kendo stick and like several wooden swords and stuff like that. So I'd be like, I'll just be right back, and I would head off to the hold or wherever I keep it below deck, and grab him because he normally uses a sword, right? A short
Yeah.
sword.
He's sword and sword.
Okay, yeah, I would grab the 2 of the wooden swords and then like a longer like big sword for me, or like training axe or whatever.
Yeah.
And I would as soon as I would have the 2 in one hand and the one that I was going to use in the other, and as soon as I emerge, I would just toss the 2 at you.
So using, he like looks up and down these.
Mhm.
What are the rules?
I think we'll know who wins.
Okay, so not first touch then. Right. Okay. Cool. So if we each start on one end of the ship, as Vale walks over, if he can, he'll push either one of those into the water. Whoa.
Go ahead and contested dex saves, I guess. Or check.
But which of us?
Exactly, which would you target? Because you can see both of them.
Gil. Or do you want a dex save?
Yeah. There's no way. Oh, wait a minute. You push him. Gilwyn, in a move that will probably never be replicated, manages to grab onto the side of the ship and then lumber himself back up.
I feel like I would be able to hear that.
You definitely hear a little bit more scuffle going on than it makes sense.
So,
You okay
so,
down there?
does that and then like throws a smile. Everything is fine.
All
Okay.
right, so do we roll initiative now then?
Yes.
All right. Sun elves first.
Just so you know, I'm not as strong during the night.
And then you charge. All right. This will be, as we've done other duels in the past, a straight up fight. Just it's all non-lethal damage. So Vale, what do you do?
How far away are we?
The deck of your ship. Oh, I've got it somewhere.
How big's me dick?
How big's your dick?
And then Ollie's like, hang on, I've got that somewhere.
It's 60 foot. It's a 60 foot long.
60 foot. Oh, that's a long boy. Well, I guess I will cunning action to dash, cover the distance unerringly quickly, and then
Fucking anime.
strike out with the short sword.
Oh! I was actually tempted to put like end boss music on. And I didn't.
Oh, you should do it.
Okay, let me find it.
What's your AC?
Oh, that hits.
Ponk.
I don't know who I want
Honk.
to win.
18 damage. Damn,
The question is
son.
whether or not you rage.
I love the idea,
I
like
get screwed.
you're like, oh, like there we go, and like you just dash up behind her and freaking
Yeah,
scratch her up.
you taste it in the kidneys.
The way that I feel it is that Indira can't help when she rages. It's not a conscious.
I was
yeah,
actually
yeah.
going to describe that because I assume that because of that how these duels work, where because Vale knows like technical dueling, but like your rage is just instinctual, isn't it?
And I don't think I think that she would be having so much fun that it wouldn't even be possible for her to rage
Be
just
angry,
now.
yeah.
But I do get extra attacks, so get scared. Hold, please. You make your first attack on your turn. You can decide to attack recklessly. Doing so gives you advantage on
gives you
melee
advantage.
weapon attack rolls using stealth or strength during this turn. But attack rolls against you have advantage until your next turn. Yeah. No. Maybe I don't do that. But I will strike out with my like training axe, which I'm gonna just use my great axe.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's flavor that you have these cool little wooden weapons, but
Oh, that
it's
hits.
it's a brutal hit.
At the last moment, Vale
And then-
turns, and it hits a less vital spot.
Hey.
And
You
then my
fighting a
extra
rogue.
attack.
That definitely hits.
I can't see that one yet. Oh, it's 22 again. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Should have saved that maybe.
He turns and then he tastes it in the head instead.
And there's like a nice pop
Yeah.
on the top of the head. At this point, Gilwyn has found like a bag of nuts to eat while watching the fight.
Yeah, I imagine Knight's just like, because he can get Vale now knows they're there, Knight's just like leaning against this edge of the ship, just like
Enjoying, and then like they get close, you're like, oh.
yeah.
Out of the way. All right.
Okay.
Roll around turn.
Stab. We
Yeah,
both.
that hits.
I rolled 2 18s, you rolled 2 22s.
Consistency.
Yeah.
You are a very consistent party, to be fair.
Jeez Louise.
This is why he doesn't get 2 attacks.
Yeah, dude.
And then Vale's gonna whip around with the second short sword, which will miss.
But to be fair, he is a class designed around this.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
He's supposed to be at his strongest in a 1v1 situation.
All right, so I'm gonna tackle him. I'm gonna
Right.
I'm gonna jump
shit.
and like try to land like on him.
That is a contested athletics roll. So both of you roll me athletics.
Damn it! That's like the worst it could have been for me.
Oh!
I miss.
But
That's
okay,
fine.
so the way grappling works, Doxy, is it counts as an attack. You have 2 attacks. So you can still
Okay.
do another attack or try
Yep.
again.
All right, so I assume I land like he brushes me off and
Yeah.
I'm behind him. So if I'm behind him, can I have an advantage?
No, I
No?
don't do
Okay.
facing in this one.
All
Just
right,
flanking.
that's fair. All right, here we go.
Oh,
No!
Oh!
I need you to roll in that one.
It's
Damn it!
It was close. I just realized the dice screen isn't working. What? Yeah, no, that's
21 damage. You gotta raise your damage by 2. Why?
Hey, no, they're
Don't
assuming
mind
you're
slashes.
raging.
Oh, I'm not raging.
Don't
yeah.
mind slashes. He got the big stoop. Hey, Indira, can you give me a deck save real quick?
You got the best.
Sure. It's not gonna be good.
No, exactly not. You launch at him from behind, and he's like twirls around, probably laughing because he's a shitlord. And you like charge, nearly falling off the edge of the ship. When you like scrapple to pull back, and it's a little easier than usual, probably because one of the invisible bros helped.
You wonder why you suddenly feel a little bit lighter when you come back up. Like just
like pushes you back on.
She's gonna look him directly in the eyes and smile and be like, "You are a good dancer."
Well, I'm just getting warmed up. And he closes the distance in for a jump stab, obviously.
Gotta do the jump stab. It's the only way.
It's the El Clasico move.
That does not.
But it's a miss.
That does not hit.
Get tangled up in the netting.
Let's follow through for the leg sweep. Oh no!
You get very tangled up in the netting. The netting on the side of the ship that Indira uses, just he's wrapped up like a elven burrito.
Is that a weapon wrapped up in there? Or
you
Veil.
Veil. So now you have advantage, Indira.
Sweet. Okay. I'm excited because I was thinking about using reckless attack this time, and now I don't have to. So that's pretty cool. All right. I will just swing my axe at him, and I'm laughing. I'm giggling, like not maniacally or anything.
Just enjoying yourself.
Oh, bud!
I'm so glad I got alcohol for this combat. Go ahead and roll that, please.
Guess what I'm gonna do?
And then I'm gonna use my extra attack.
Oh god.
Oh, you only rolled hand axe. Just
Oh,
so you
yeah.
know, up there.
Oh no. Well, whatever. It's fine.
Well, yeah, it doesn't matter about a casual.
And I
combat.
miss with my second attack.
You still have advantage. He's still tied up.
Oh right.
7 damage. It's not that
So reroll that
bad.
one.
Done.
Hey. And him like trying to squirm, and you're like, bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, I feel like I hit him with the like weapon end, and then kind of like hit him again with the butt of it.
hit him again with a butt.
That's for later. Vale, wrapped up in the netting, she's just bullying you at this point.
What do I do?
Hey, uncle.
And give me a strength or dex check to get out.
Like save or
Check.
Check. Like acrobatics or
Check.
oh okay.
Stat check. He just swoops out from under. But that's pretty much your turn, unless you got some rogue stuff you can do.
That's my turn. Oh, of course.
Because that's
an
your action to break out of netting.
Mm. Right, so I can disengage with cunning action,
And run away.
and I have 30 foot of movement, which I will spend climbing the rigging.
Okay. Yeah.
I have a speed of 40, and I'm gonna tackle you again.
Please do. I'll give you the ability. So it's you can use acrobatics, Veil, against this one. When you can anyway. I just always forget to say it.
Yeah, I noticed, but I didn't want to say.
She gets you by the leg, pulls you down.
And now she's just like on top of you, holding your arms down, like pinning you down. Just be like, "Are you done? Did I win? Are you done?"
There's a whistle from the background. Like a wolf whistle from the background.
Fine, you win this one.
I win them all. And she gets up and reaches a hand down to help you up.
Yeah, he takes it.
Hey.
As he comes up, he kisses the back of her hand.
Oh, shut up. She would love that. Okay, then in that case she would just not let go of your hand and lead you to her room and pour some wine and like just like have like there's like musical instruments and stuff around and
That
they would just
exact
hang out.
face that Dean's pulling right now. That's fail. The gill. He's like,
Polite cat. Is this where we cut to black?
I was about to say.
She's not planning on fucking him. If that's what you're asking.
I know you're just chat. You're...
I wanted to cast.
Obviously, Vale doesn't know they're just chilling at that point. He's terrified the entire time.
I wanted to cast locate object on Vale's dick to see if it went a foot further. And
Are you familiar with Vale's dick?
Yeah.
No, like unfortunately, yes.
No, I wouldn't do that.
No, I know. Funny though. All right. I imagine everyone gets to bed.
Mhm.
You wake up.
Vale comes in at like an ungodly hour in the morning to wake up Gil, and he's like, "Did you see me?"
Can you still see me? I'm technically still invisible.
If it's,
There's just a little bulge in the bed.
as amusing an idea as that is, invisibility only lasts an hour.
Oh no, it's happening though. I
it's
can't
happening.
unvisualize it. Oh.
I do think Indira would have asked about Gil's romantic situation.
Ooh.
Oh.
Did you see me, Gil?
I did.
No, I thought it was going so well. And then she asked whether you were someone.
Huh.
He sits down at the bottom of your
And
bed.
then Galen becomes visible.
I'll put my hand in front of my face to like hide my grin. Like, oh, okay. Well, that backfired. No, maybe we don't know. Maybe she was just being polite.
Right, yes, being polite on a date with someone's best friend, asking about whether or not they're seeing someone. That sounds really polite to me.
You gotta look at the positives.
What? She hit me over the head so hard I can still see stars.
Yeah, she didn't go easy on you.
That's a positive.
I would say so. Indira's a very nice person. I think I think she's showing her true self to you for a reason.
Right. True self. You know, we did talk a lot.
Yeah, you did. And may I say, you did pretty well.
Thanks, Gil.
As soon as you took two sending messages off of me.
I danced pretty good. That was, that was like full-on Moon Elf style right there.
Hey, Vale, can you give me a perception check?
No.
No, I don't want to see.
No.
You're very distracted.
So, what do I do now?
Don't make a big deal out of it.
Uh-huh.
Just did you make any jokes that you can refer back to? Inside jokes are always good.
I made plenty of jokes, as ever. They were of a fine caliber. Some might even say vintage. Given my age.
Did she laugh at any of them? Those are quite important.
A little. I kind of got the feeling some was like a pity laugh though, but some, it was genuine laughter. I'm sure. I will have a think on it. Anyway, good night for now, traitor. And he ruffles Gil's hair.
I'll grab his hand and be like, honestly, don't dwell on one bad thing that is otherwise a really good night, you know?
There's plenty of beautiful obsidian ladies in the sea, Gilwyn.
There's not.
You hear footsteps as he goes off onto the deck.
Can you give me another perception check? Oh no, cursed. Can you give me another perception check?
He's like leaning over the rail, staring out at the moon. The moon particularly is very evocative to Vale.
Exactly. And you brood the night away. And in the morning, pretty much everyone's hungover to some degree, aside from Gilwyn, who is immune to hungover. What's the plan?
Dale.
Well, Knight wanted to stay and do some
Yeah,
stuff.
I
while you're
wanted
still
to
in the city.
find someone to basically cast. I've forgotten the damn spell name.
Identify. You
Identify.
want to find someone to identify something.
Yeah, I want to find someone to identify something. Exactly.
Well,
Great.
you know what they say. You snooze, you lose!
So, as you said, I'm totally okay with you having a contact. Do you want to bring old Gil? Or anyone? Who do you want to bring with you, or are you just going out on a little solo mission?
Anyone who wants to come, basically.
Choose your party.
You
Zero
must
would
gather
probably
your
be
party.
readying the
before
ship
venturing forth.
for voyage.
Vale goes
Making sure
because
supplies
he
and
finds it
stuff.
awkward spending the morning near Indira.
Oh no, I
Yeah.
feel so bad.
Honestly, I think I'd stay inside and like just play with my amulet and read some books.
Guess it's Knight and Vale then.
Yeah, the pussy slayers. Okay. So, you go off into the city of Tran, and especially not the merchant areas where everyone goes, not the docks where everyone goes. You actually start going a little further into the city proper, into the parts that not everyone would go to. You end up in an area that's quite clearly some old ruins, are very tall, and flowers and plant life grows over every layer of this, which is mostly low-income housing. A place where Knight has spent a lot of time in these moss-covered stone halls. You go to find your friend who goes by the name of Rylan.
Rylan.
Yeah, Rylan is an old thief who is like teetering on being an arcane trickster. You know, a thief who is particularly interested in magic, has very simple magic, not to the caliber of any of you, but identify absolutely as something he has. You'd end up finding him like outside, feeding the birds. He's quite old. He's actually in his 90s, older than most people are meant to live. Probably someone that, like, trained you when you were a wee kitten. But he's very happy to see you, and won't stand up. That would take considerable effort. But will like wave away the birds, which are like a mixture of like pigeons and then like tropical pigeons.
And a seagull or two.
And
obviously.
a seagull or two. Maybe a kobold.
That's it. Rylan, it's good to see you after so long. Please,
Night. Ocean in the night. I thought you were either arrested or executed.
arrested, nearly executed. Well, I've got more lives than that, you know.
Now, Jack, is that you?
Speaking of lives, you are still kicking about, my old friend.
Oh,
You are quite the sight now, but full of vigor by the looks of it. How goes things?
Do you want to know the secret to keeping your strength when you're an old man?
Oh, very much so.
Younger women.
Night. I don't know if Vale heard that, but Knight would just sort of look at him and go, "Perhaps that's a tip you can learn from Vale."
Vale has street meat. Vale's like, if I'm gonna go across the city, I might as well eat some native food.
But yes, of course, I'm happy to spend a little bit of time talking, but I did come here with a purpose. You still have some odd magics that I am not familiar with. I have this lovely little piece here. He pulls out the rapier out of the sheath. Which I picked up on my travels, and I believe it is magical, but I do not know exactly what the nature of it is.
He immediately takes out some chalk and just starts drawing a magical circle on the floor. And we'll take it from you and cast Identify. It's a +1 weapon.
Ooh.
It also has the ability to create light at will, at your choice, which is why when you've been wielding it, it's been blazing light randomly. You can choose whether it makes any light or bright light up to 20 feet and dim light the same amount. So anywhere within that as well. You could have it glow a little bit, it would glow a little bit.
Cool. So bright light up to 20 feet and dim light up to 20 feet. Okay.
Yeah. But of course you can go anywhere between 0 to 20.
Okay, cool. That is quite a handy little thing.
He's like, this is a very fine piece of kit. Who did you take it from?
Oh, well, to be quite frank, I don't know. I found it in a chest underneath one of the little islands, the records places. I believe it was buried, presumably by some family or other. It says Zanyu family. It says Zanyu on it.
Doesn't ring a bell.
No, me neither. I assume it is some long-lost family. But at any rate, well, I don't know if it's their loss exactly, but it's certainly my gain.
Anything else you want to do with it, or just chatting?
No, just a bit of
catch up
chatting
for a bit for the rest of the evening.
Yeah, until Vale gets annoyed and starts clearing his throat.
And then you head off back to the ship.
Yeah.
Which means, because that's the only thing you wanted to do on the mainland, you can actually set sail like around noon, if you're all good to.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, the
Definitely.
first things first.
No awkward hanging about.
Because you're all accomplished sailors, leaving the docks of Tran is easy. Set sails, all that sort of thing. I do need you to give me a navigator's check, Vale, to align the brief mark they have with, your sea maps, your sea charts, and the ways to go. Okay. It's okay. Can you all give me your sailing checks?
Was I doing Dex, I think?
You were doing Dex for rigging. Indira was Charisma or Dex for piloting.
I just have a captaining.
Oh, yeah,
thing
that's
right
it. It's
now.
the captaining thing. Vale is navigating, and Gilwyn is helping.
Want me to do that again, yeah?
Yes. That was a separate one.
LP.
Hey, good. Getting a 12 on navigation or anything like that is just a 20 is so time saver. It's a good few days of travel. Once you get away from Tron and you get out into the Gilwyn's helping.
Some of the rigging ones.
Gilwyn finally got the passive-aggressive comments that everyone was making and actually starts helping out on the top of the ship and is actually doing okay. Once you get away from Tron and you just manage to get the wind in your sails, traveling is easy. Your minds are cleared and you're enjoying the sail. You obsess over finding this properly on the map, Vale, because they said that it was basically this shipwreck was wrecked up on rocks. And if rocks were high enough up off the water to have it be wrecked and not in the water, they would be of note. Especially so close to Tron. You're not going more than a week's away. You eventually do manage to find them on the map and steer your course more correctly to them. So after around about a week, and I should actually update what time it is in your game. Hey, you're officially the furthest in the past of all the Jarviskjir games.
Somehow I'm not surprised.
Fuck everything up.
You're still in Carnelian. You're not even in, like, winter yet. You end up coming across, like, around afternoon when you're sailing, you see a bunch of jagged, upturned rocks just jutting out of the sea. And that's not entirely uncommon in these kind of waters. It is a fantasy sea. There's vast open stretches, but also jagged rocks, straight islands, things like that. But noticeably on these jagged rocks, when you get out the spyglass and look, there is a ship around about the same size as yours, a little bit bigger, a little bit more designed for cargo, that is just kind of clearly a big wave just beached it up on these rocks, and the rock like cuts all the way through the middle of the ship. The sails are like, there's nothing left of them. It's mostly just the hull of the ship that is sort of balanced, impaled on these rocks.
All right. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
She would look over. She would look over the crow's nest and yell down, "Anchors away! She's run aground!" And point.
And you anchor up like nearish the island, but not close enough for any danger. Can you give me another perception check there, Vale? Because you would be the one having the spy class up on the crow's nest doing the preliminaries.
Oh, I would be up there with him then.
You can give me a perception check as well then. Sharing the glass.
Oh, that's awkward.
It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, but he's... You got to remember that Vale is an elven teenager.
That's like the
Fair enough.
farthest Vale's ever been.
Oh. Maybe I should throw him a bone.
Or the other way around. You're looking around, and Vale, you see that, like, where the ship's wrecked, there's actually a little bit of a rocky plateau at the top. So you would climb up the sharp rocks, or however you'd get up, and then there's that sort of safe space at the top. Indira, you see that there is a nest up there with griffins. Several griffins. You count 3 of them that are kind of roosting up there, which...
Okay.
It would make sense. It's a fairly tall, you know, it's 100 feet up, these rocks at the top of the plateau. It's tall. There must have been a big fucking wave. But then you've been in these seas in like the winter and the summer. That's what you see. At the top of the rocky island is griffins, but also a easier way into the ship. Or you could like climb below the ship and try to get up, but that would be much harder.
All right, we ought to head down and discuss this with them. You really are the best navigator. The best. And she would slide down.
His dick.
Obviously not quite the best. He doesn't say to you, he says to himself before falling down.
Wait, repeat that? I didn't hear it.
He said obviously not quite the best.
Oh,
You get
My heart is
you
breaking.
you assemble the. This is what happens when you turn D&D into a dating sim. You get heartbreak. It's guaranteed.
Select your route.
That's why this has not happened with Ian already. You assemble a little bit of a team meeting. This rocky, these jagged rocks are quite intimidating now that you're anchored here. They kind of loom over you. They even like cast the ship in a bit of a shadow.
That would make me very happy. It'd be hard to see the ship and...
Yes, that's what I would imagine. You would
Ika, come on.
hide it from most people.
Ika. Over here. Sorry about that.
That's the trick you use to get Knight into the meeting.
There's... Come here, Knight.
It's everywhere. in this
Kitty, kitty.
meeting.
Oh,
kitties.
You guys don't see my cat, but he's being...
You see actually more cat than usual.
He's being real cute. 3 griffins, I counted, and nests, so perhaps more. We could go. They're blocking our easy route. We could go around. It would take several more hours, but undoubtedly be safer. Just a lot harder.
Yeah, unlikely to just let us through if they have a nest there.
Oh,
I mean,
definitely not.
What is it Sun Elves ride as mounts? As their aerial mounts?
Pegasi mainly, but you would have seen griffins as well. Basically anything that can fly, Sun Elves have tamed them in the past, but it's like Pegasi are the main one. There's history of at least one dragon rider, you know?
Mm-hmm.
wow. I'd like to see those griffins.
I mean,
Right,
it
we're
seems
gonna
to
have to kill them. You understand?
Really? All 3 of them?
Yes. They will attack us if we go near their nests. This will happen.
Well, we're here. Why?
To get the potions and recover the painting that we said we would.
And we're gonna kill 3 griffins for a
Don't
potion
have to.
we don't need.
We don't have to. We can go around.
And do we really care about that painting?
I do.
Well, we said we'd do a favor. I'm just my objection is killing them for the painting.
We don't have to kill them. We can go around.
That's fine.
Also, those potions, I would like to return them as well if we don't need them.
I mean,
Yeah.
don't you have a whole load of fishing equipment? due to the location of this island, I would wager that these griffins eat a diet that consists almost entirely of fish. If we were able to lure them away, we could simply pass by the nest while they were busy eating and reward them and their potential chicks for the effort of eating.
That's really smart. That's really smart, and I wouldn't have thought of that.
What can I say?
Although, if we fail, and they see us as the better meal, again, we'll have to kill the
You know,
griffins.
Sometimes in life, you have to just roll the dice.
Well,
Leave it up to Lady Luck, as it were.
I'd like to at least call it to a vote, you know?
Well,
I mean, I vote we don't hurt them.
right. Well, that's really useful. Maybe choose one of the options?
Go
We
around.
all agree we're not aiming to hurt the griffins, correct? Yeah.
Oh, I'm not implying you are.
So really the vote is go around or try to lure them away and risk
around.
them seeing us and trying to eat us instead.
Go around.
Knight pulls a card. There is no reason to risk them attacking us. We have time, we can go around.
I say we lure them away. Save time.
I also like the idea of luring them away. Crap.
This
You
vote
can't do that with a 4-person party.
this did not help at all. Where has my kitten gone? I do not want to
Stowaway.
move my chair in case I crush her.
Jesus.
Real good.
Well, let's. Shall I? I have here a 6-sided die. 1 to 3, we go round. 4 to 6, we distract them, lure them away.
I like it. I'm for it. Everybody agree?
Yes.
Sure. Why are you carrying a 6-sided dice?
For dice games, obviously. What else do you think?
How many 6-sided dice do you carry?
Knight opens his shirt and it's full of games and dice and chess pieces and such. There's at least a dozen 6-sided dice in there.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
That was for distraction, for luring them away.
Lure them away. Let's do it. And Ollie, I feel like we have discussed that pretty much any time we're sailing, we're fishing, yeah?
You are fishing, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's
So we
reasonable
probably
that you
already
would
a
have
load of fish.
you would have fish to some degree. Whether you want to catch an even bigger bounty of fish first before this is fine, but you could,
Do you want me to roll to see how many I have, or
No, I think for this it's reasonable to assume you have. I mean, you would then not have fish for the future, but you have other supplies.
Yeah, we could just fish on the way back anyway,
exactly,
so not a big deal.
Exactly. So you have a net of fish, let's say.
All right, so hundreds of fish. Who wants to go place the lure?
Obviously, it's you. None of us can carry that many fish.
And swim.
I am also a strong swimmer. Okay.
Um,
Where to, navigator? Where should I place these fish? I think just around the other side of the rocks.
Can you attempt to place it in a place that they wouldn't be able to have direct vision of us crawling over the nest?
Yeah, the other side of the rocks.
If nothing else, they must hunt from the water, so you could just chum a load of water. The downside there is, things that live in the sea may try to eat you.
I'm not worried. And she takes the nest and jumps out.
As just before
Or
she
not the
does,
nest, the net.
just before she does, I would Blessing of the Trickster, and I don't know how Ollie would do this. If I cast invisibility on her, because normally she has disadvantage on stealth. If I give her Blessing of the Trickster and invisibility, would she still have advantage? If there's a stealth check required.
No, but enemies have disadvantage to sense you.
Okay, I will totally do that then. A couple of cards, just follow her out as she vanishes before she hits the water.
Which
That's
is great
awesome.
because Indira has huge bag of fish.
Yeah.
And it's all invisible. But
Yeah.
occasionally a fish slips through the net and just becomes visible.
Yeah.
So what's the plan? You could easily jump in the water and start swimming. Not even a problem.
Yeah, I would swim around to the other side of the rocks to a place where they would not be in direct eye line of their nest, or our ship, or us climbing to the other ship.
Can you give me an animal handling roll with advantage for this?
Sure.
The rare usage of an animal handling roll. Probably the first one.
Oh no.
It's definitely the first one of the year. You set up like the whole fish, like half, a little bit in the water, a little bit on this little bit of rock. You're pretty confident with it. You know,
I
you
would.
don't see
I
the griffins
think I would slice a few too, so that they'd be able to smell the blood.
smell
and
the
guts.
blood.
And
you,
then
you don't
swim
see.
back.
You see some of the griffins take off, but you don't see any much more than that.
Okay, I would swim back to the ship then. Also, I would like to just look under the water because I can breathe down there, and see if I see this castle.
Oh, you can give me a perception check. Although the castle is a bit further away.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no, it's even though you can breathe on the
No
water,
distant
seeing
lights
is
or
still
anything?
hard. You don't see anything that fell out of the ship, you know, cascaded on here. If it is, it's like so far under the sea life, coral and seaweed and stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
You could probably scour for later, but not quickly.
Sure. All right. Well, then I would just head back to the ship.
How'd it go?
Lower paced.
Doesn't look like they took the bait, but if you want to take a look and see if they're still up there.
Well, it will probably take a little while for them to smell it anyway.
We might have to. They may have just eaten. We might have to wait for them to get hungry.
Vale's gonna climb the crow's nest then and have a snoop.
They are not super. They're curious, but they're not leaving. Of the two griffins that are still like on the nest, they're like looking over that way. One of them is in the sky, doing quite a wide circle. Like it actually flies over your ship.
I think it might be time to take the long route. Either way, we're wasting time. We either wait for them to get hungry, or we get some exercise.
Let's go, but there's no guarantee they won't decide we're good food.
I agree. Just everybody be careful. Be ready.
So, your plan is to go the harder way and avoid them. So, I'm going to need you three to give me athletics rolls for swimming over there in the choppy waters. Because there's enough, like, shore for you to get up under the ship in a slightly difficult place to climb. You just have to get there, you know?
On myself
right?
and Gil.
It's daytime, right?
Yes.
Vale will go ahead and... You haven't seen this before, I don't think, Indira, but he glows with golden light for a flash.
You have advantage.
I
Gil.
have disadvantage on athletics checks
Do you?
But he... Oh, yeah, you do.
as one of my like.
So that's three
Oh.
creatures.
Okay.
So that's me, Gil, and...
Thank you, though.
So he
So
just
add a-
blessed you.
Roll a d4.
So add a d4, Gil.
Well, D4s only affect attacks and saving throws. But the bless only affects those
Yeah,
two.
crap.
Well, it's good to have it up for
Oops.
only a minute. Never mind.
I would be keeping an eye on all of them to see that they're swimming okay.
You wouldn't let them drown. It's more just the
Right.
time and how much they thrash in the water.
I probably
Uh,
would take up the rear so that I could keep an eye on everything.
Yeah, you end up swaddling up Gilwyn and helping him across. He would have got there eventually, but he was making a lot more noise than ideal. The other two get across relatively fine. Gilwyn swallowed a bit of seawater. You have to like set him up on the rock before you come up as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Can you make it up there? That's the
Oh,
hard
yeah.
part.
So above you, you're in the shadow of the ship where it's kind of awkwardly hanging, pierced up on one of these rocks. There's not like, on the other side, it's sort of like a nice slope. Okay, it's harsh, rocky terrain. This is like an underhang, you know? Like a hard rock climbing wall. This is gonna require some serious work.
Perhaps I ought to have gone alone.
Well, I have a climbing speed.
Yes.
Perhaps you ought to go alone.
Yes, I
Vale's
can.
going to start like he gives. Sorry, at the same time as Knight, he clearly is giving Gil a look as he's pulled out of the water with Indira, and then just turns and starts climbing up the wall.
Knight follows him up. And
You're like a little too coughing up water.
Like rather before he follows Vale up. Do you still have that rope, Indira? I could
Hi.
find something to attach it to up there, make it a bit easier.
So it is more or less 100 feet high, so you'd need 2 ropes to go the whole way.
It is only 50 foot.
Does anyone have a second 50 foot of rope? Because I don't.
You can do halfway then, or
Yeah.
the top part, which will be harder.
Yeah, I guess it's going to be
Top
the
part.
top part.
All right, neat. Vale just starts. So I'm going to need you to give me another one as well, because climbing up the first part, not that hard. There, Knight is trying to figure out how he's going to do this rope
Just
thing.
rip.
You just start skittering up. This kind of thing is less of a problem for you. But the overhang, not only is it sharp rock, it's also unstable rock with a big ship hanging off of it that creaks uneasily, and some of it kind of sways awkwardly in the wind, and you start like climbing using your upper body strength to go, but you are aware that it's too dangerous. Now with a 15 you don't fall, you actually manage to get back down to a place where you can sort of halfway up take another look at it, Knight on the other hand has a climbing speed of 20 feet. You just uncomfortably claws into rock. Because it's slow, you end up joining him a roundabout when he's like, can't do that right now.
Yes, it does not look like if you're having trouble, Vale, then I fear for particularly Gil.
Now here's a question. When it comes to climbing up this way, you could try and climb all the way up around the ship, like to get onto the top deck, or you could find a way to get into the bottom deck. You just break through the hull. There doesn't appear to be any big holes other than the one that's jammed into the rock. But you can maybe make a hole, you could do whatever.
I got anything that can easily make a hole.
Sounds noisy.
Yeah, true. Thoughts, Vale? I could probably make it up. It is not an easy
We
climb,
can
but
Go up at the bottom. If we make a hole, it will make the climb an awful lot easier. I can
would.
tell you that is not an easy climb. As for the rope, I'm glad you brought it. I have some pitons. We can use it to assist ourselves on this last part. I know you don't necessarily need it, but I reckon the others won't be able to see what I am doing now, and I would rather not fall to my death.
quite. And besides, I mean, it does rather hurt my claws to be putting my full body weight on them. It would be appreciated to have something to hang on to. Plus, we can go. Perhaps I can go first, work out a decent route, and then you can follow with the pitons.
Yes, holding yourself and looking for a route is rather difficult.
Indeed. That is the plan, then.
So what is the plan?
I'm going to go up first, like plot effectively determining a decent route for Vale to follow with pitons, and then we're going to go cut a hole in the bottom of the ship and tie
Okay.
a rope or something in the
Can you give me a... Let me look at the skills. What would be good for this? Because you're essentially trying to find a good route. I could see...
Oh, you were looking at my stats, all right.
nature or survival for this.
Oh, great. My two...
Because you're trying to plot a route that can be
I'm going to give myself guidance.
Can you give yourself guidance?
It doesn't say I can't.
It doesn't say you
one
can't.
living creature.
Yeah, usually you can touch self. So
Yeah.
I do it all the time.
luckily a 21
Hey!
is exactly what you need right now.
Oh, good. And that D4 just for the... Come on, give me a 4. Oh,
Hey, no, well, 24 is amazing.
Yeah.
So were you also putting in the pitons or just sort of planning?
No, I'm
route
planning
on
the
side?
route and like sort of, I imagine Vale is following me like a few feet behind and I'm just like, that is a good spot sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. You end up, and you, because of the climbing kit, you end up like looping the rope through the pitons to make a climbable, I mean, you're still hanging upside down, but a climbable way right up to the bottom of the ship, which still has no entrance in, aside from if you wanted to squirm your way in where like it's jagged and sharp at the very breaking, you know.
I mean, this is rotten wood, or is it? I suppose it's treated, so it might not rot.
It's not actually in that bad a condition because it's not in the water, so it's not rotted as much as a typical shipwreck.
Is it stable enough, like at the point that it's rested, that squirming in, even if I cut myself a bit, it's not going to like destabilize the ship?
You really don't know. It does sway and it is creaking, but every ship sways and creaks at this kind of moment.
Yeah.
You know what? Why don't we take a break and let you think about how you want to go about this? A.
Hope you're ready to have Knight and Bale's corpses land on you.